slower, but it needs to get into a level from a higher time frame perspective, which is that volume imbalance on the daily chart that's showed here in red. Here, we see it dive down in. There's a small little gap. You see that? Let me widen it out a little bit. There you go. You should be able to see that a little bit better right here. So this inefficiency, because this SIBI right here is not butt up against this wick. Now, if this SIBI was this immediate candle to the right of this wick, we wouldn't be using the fair value gap. We would just be measuring the wick. Listen to me, mentors. Okay. You're out there teaching my stuff, thinking you know something. This wick right here, if this was exactly to the immediate left of the SIBI, but see, we have the SIBI formed here where there's one candlestick barrier to that wick. If this SIBI existed right up against this as the immediate next candle to the right of that one, we would not use that fair value gap at all. We would just simply use the gradient levels on the wick. Just say, I'm just tossing in there, no extra charge. Go back and look at old price data and you'll see the benefit of knowing what I just told you. This SIBI, because we don't have the wick to the immediate left, this is a valid premium PD array. So it would be viewed like this. And let's just make it a little bit darker. Okay. And then, so right away you can see we used the top of the volume imbalance. We traded back into the gap and it went one tick above, just coloring outside the lines of that volume imbalance on the daily chart. If you were shorting this, any short entry in here, the stop needs to go right above this candlestick's high. By the way, I helped Cameron with the stop loss the other day in that trade you saw. I was just putting my little fingerprint on it. He can't manage his stop losses like that. That was me teaching. But he's pushing the buttons otherwise. The idea of you're a liar, ICT. So what am I? I'm a lying fraud because I don't make money, or I'm a lying fraud because I'm making lots of money in my son's account. Isn't that funny how that works? Diabolical. So anyway, this is where your stop loss would be, and your entry would be anywhere in here. Now, which price level would you use? You personally. Well, think about the logic. Okay, we're talking about high probability entries, but now we're going to incorporate lower time frames, sub 1 minute. So now we can go into this little range right here. The stop has to be defined right there on that high. Why? Because of the volatility. Now, because of the volatility being so extrapolated and large, we have to consider the formation of the setup time frame for our stop loss. Whereas if we didn't have this wild volatility, then we can go into sub 1 minute in this fair value gap that's shaded here, that's darker. We could use that, and the stop loss could be framed on this swing high in here. And I'll show you what I mean. Let's drop down into, let's go to 30-second real quick. All right, and that's the business there. You already noticed on the 1 minute chart that the bodies were already staying in the lower half of that fair value gap. So what you want to see is how the market trades into the upper half. You give it a chance to do so. You might miss the trade. It might happen where it goes up there so quick and then starts running away. Well, you missed it. But because you're in the lower time frame setups, there's so many of these forming. We'll go to 9:15, by the way, because I'm not going to be able to talk everything in the time I needed. So you want to try to enter in the lower half. That's your high frequency trading window of entry. The barrier of entry is you need to be inside of this portion of the move. And I know some of you don't like the idea of that. You want to get up here in the upper half. Sure, I do it sometimes, but my experience is a little bit larger and longer than yours. So, how do you get in the move and know that you're going to be a part of it and not be afraid that you're going to miss the move? So you want consistency, continuity, but you're also not going to over leverage and over trade. That means use a smallest amount of leverage, one micro. You're not looking to make millions of dollars on one trade. You don't care if you get stopped out. In fact, we're going under the premise that you got stopped out